Hello, brother. What's your name, please?
Harron Maccabees.
Wait, you gotta spell that one. I gotta write it down. Say it again, please.
Harron,
Wait.
Harron.
Whoa, brother. You sound like one of those commercials. The radio shows. Call in 15568. You like what? Oh, I'm trying to win the prize. Slow down. Now, but spell it kind of slow.
Bruh, it's not that hard. Harron.
H
Harron.
A R R O N. All right, cool. My man came up. It ain't that hard. All right, cool. So I understand that we were talking about salvation, and I like to believe it's for everybody that wants it, right? I believe the ones who don't want it, it ain't for them. But I like to believe that everybody who wants salvation can get it. And so let me ask you, what's your thoughts on that?
False. Because not everybody's gonna have salvation. It clearly states that in the Bible. And that sounds more so like a Christian mindset.
Yeah, well, I could say yours sound like a Hebrew One West doctrine mindset. I could say the same thing. Where
No, I don't. Because
Israel. I mean, so but we both can like, you know, just put something on each other. But let's just talk, and we'll see what mindset we have, right? Because I don't represent the Christian church, and I'm sure you don't represent all of the Black Israelites, right? So let's just represent ourselves. Yeah, don't place them on me, and don't place me on them. So, but like you said, the Bible. So it doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what you say, it matters what we can prove in the Bible. Okay, contextually. So can you show me how everybody's not going to get salvation? Can you show me that in the Bible?
okay. Give me a second.
Yeah.
So if you go to John 4:22.
Okay, give me 1 second to pull that up. On my computer, I got slow Twitter fingers. Okay, all right, the Jacob's well. Okay, perfect. All right, go ahead.
Right. So John 4:22 says, hold on. It says, ye worship, ye know not what.
Yep.
We know what we worship.
Right.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Right.
Right? It didn't say anything about Jewish or anyone other than the Jews, which are the Hebrew Israelites. So with that being said, no, not everyone can get salvation.
All right, so let me speak to this. Have you read this entire chapter? This entire book?
I read there. Yeah.
Okay, do you know who he's talking to?
He's talking to the Jews.
No, he's talking to a Samaritan woman right now. He's talking to a Samaritan woman that he asked to get him some water. Yeah, I know this entire book. I know what's going on, the context and everything. So she's false flagging. Okay, she's acting like she's a Jew, and she's calling Jacob her father with the rest of the Samaritans that's there. So they're practicing Jewish worship in their own perverse way for so many years that she deluded herself to believe that she's actually a descendant descendant for Jacob. So Jesus corrected her, and he said, you're worshiping here, right? I'm paraphrasing, as a false worshiper. But there will come a time where you won't be allowed to worship anymore. So he told her salvation is of the Jews. He told her that. Okay? So now, a Jew is one inward, not an outward. So he's telling her, all the stuff you're doing is for naught. Unless you're a Jew inwardly, you're done. Which she was not. But she had a chance because she went and if you read the whole chapter, she went and told other Samaritans, and they were like gathering around, enjoying the rejoicing. So let me go down to where we can read that. Yeah, I noticed. Okay, so 39. So this is the wrong example. 39, and many of the Samaritans of that city believed on him for the saying of the woman which testified, he told me all that I ever did. So when the Samaritans were come unto him, they besought him that he would tarry with them, and he abode there 2 days. And many more believed because of his own word, and said unto the woman, now we believe, not because of thy saying, for we have heard him ourselves, and that this is indeed the Christ, the Savior of the world. So they believed salvation was extended to them.
Right. And he said salvation is only for the Jews. So basically, what are you saying? You saying that everybody can get salvation?
Everybody, okay, so I read the word. That's why I say, forget about what we say out our mouths, is what we read. I read that they believed. So now I'm going to take you to Romans 1:16, and then you can take over. So now, key word is they believed. We clearly read that. Watch this. This is called rightly dividing the word. Check this out. Romans 1:16. So the word is believe. That's key word. They believe, those Samaritans. And I'm going to show you other non-nations believing. Romans 1:16. Now, here's my position. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Many people are. They're mad that it says what it says. They wanted to say what they wanted to say, but it just don't, it's not the way it works. So it says, for this is the power of God unto salvation to everyone is everyone, that believe it. To the Jew first, and to also the Greek. So Greek is synonymous with Gentile. So clearly he's saying
talking about the
hold on.
He's not talking about an actual.
My brother, let me just get this out. When you talk, I listen. Okay, so let me just finish the verse and then explain that you come behind. No problem. So this says, now you said the black Jew. Everyone is everyone. I'm reading English. I got a great comprehension. And it says, for this is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believe it. And we just read Samaritans believe. Then it says, but there's an order of operations like math. You know, PEMDAS, did I say it right? To the Jew first, and also to the Greek. So the Jew is first, and then to the Greek. Your turn.
Okay. So with that being said, he's talking about the Israelites that don't know that they're Israelites, as far as Gentiles, basically Christians, right? So not everybody is going to receive salvation. If that's the case, then what makes us a peculiar people? What makes us set apart, just like the Bible says, if everybody can receive salvation? So you telling me that the white man is going to the same place I'm going in heaven?
Is it my turn? Yes.
Yeah, I asked the question.
Yes. So let me answer.
And where's that in the Bible? You need to go to precept.
Brother, you got to let me finish. For one, you lied about the Greek Jew thing. You can't prove that. Okay, but I can debunk that if you try.
I lie about that?
Okay, listen. Let me just finish first, because you cannot prove that. Now, I just proved it said everyone that believe it. So now you show me that the everyone is just black folks, and then you prove to me that these Greeks are black Israelites. I'll wait.
I just asked you a question. Show me in the Bible where it says that the Edomite is going to enter into the kingdom. Okay. I'm not going back and forth.
Okay, I got it. So my brother, let me explain something, right? So this is just for the chat. And everybody, you know, the call, everybody's listening to yourself. When this is basic reading comprehension, there's 4 levels. You read what's in front of you, right? That's level 1. That means you're reading a book, page 1, and all the answers are there. So if a teacher asks you a question, you don't got to go to page 2, page 90. The answers are on page 1. The second level of reading comprehension is that the answer might not be on page 1, it might be on page 90. And then the third rule of reading comprehension is called context clues. That means it's not going to be on page 1 or 99 verbatim. You got to read the clues to the context, and that's how you get your answer. And number 4 is the worst way. That's just your opinion. Now, the clue that is for everybody is that it's said to everyone that believeth. Edomites is part of the everyone.
That's incorrect.
Okay, so explain to me how everyone excludes Edomites.
Because the Bible clearly states what will happen to Edom. If you read Obadiah 1 and 18,
Old Testament, right? Old Testament,
Malachi 1 and 4,
right.
It clearly states See, but you didn't even answer my question when I asked you where in the Bible does it say the Edomite will enter into the congregation?
Okay. I got you. I got you. So we'll do that. We'll play that game. Read to me about a black Greek. So I'll play that game with you. Read to me about a black Greek.
What do you mean? There was black Greeks in Rome. What are you talking about?
Read it. You asked me to read Edomites.
I'm asking you a question.
All right, so, okay.
You keep going. You keep asking me questions.
I'm not going to be able to read.
Where in the Bible does it say that Esau was going to enter into the kingdom?
You asked me a question.
When it's the contrary.
You asked me a question to read Edomites. I'm not going to be able to read it like that. I explain context clues. Now, read to me about a black Greek in the Bible.
What are you talking about? Can you answer my question first, and then we can go down the line?
Bro,
show me in the Bible if you really think that Esau is entering to the kingdom. Show me in the Bible right now. You're supposed to go upon precept upon precept, line upon line, right? If you know the Bible. Are you listening?
I just said very clear and concise that you're not going to read word for word that Esau can be saved. You're not going to read that word for word. That's why we defer to context clues. Just like you cannot read to me verbatim, word for word, about a black Greek. So what you're going to do is go to context clues like I will have to do. So if that standard
go to 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. That's going to shut it all down for you. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9.
Okay, got you. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. He said, now answer my question, or remember, answer my question, okay?
I don't care about what your question right now. Just read 2nd Esdras 6 and 9.
But that's not how it works, my boy. If you call in here, you're gonna care about if I got to consider your question, you're gonna consider mine.
Look, man, I don't have to be on this call. No disrespect. Right. I'm trying to show you something here.
You already got debunked. There are no black Greeks.
How? Oh my God! How is there not black Jews?
Read it.
When that's what Paul went to Corinth. To talk to. You think he was out there talking to everybody?
Read it.
Telling everybody they got salvation?
What Bible? What chapter?
That's a lie. Read 2nd Esdras 6 and 9.
No. What chapter?
If you don't read it, I'll read it.
No. What
if you don't read it, I'll read it. Okay, 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Who is Jacob? Jacob are the black Israelites, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right, come on.
So with that being said, you said that Esau is into the kingdom, where 2nd Esdras is clearly stating something different than what you're talking about.
Show us black Greeks.
See,
Exactly.
Man, see, you're basically beating around the bush.
Show us black Greeks.
And that's what I don't like. Okay. Okay, so we can. Okay, so if you don't like that one, that's not good enough for you, right?
Show us black Greeks.
Then go to Malachi 1 and 4.
No, all Old Testament. We're talking about Jesus, right? Show us black Greeks.
First off, that's not his name. Jesus is Cesar Borgia, which is a white man. His name is Hamashiach.
That's the dude. Are you going to read to us?
How's that one wet? That's going back to Paleo Hebrew.
That's you.
What are you talking about?
Dude,
Jesus is a white man. Jesus Christ is a white man. Do you not know the history behind that?
You think Jesus is black?
Yes, Jesus is black. Are you stupid?
What chapter and verse?
Go to Revelation. It said his skin looked like brass, hair of wool. Are you serious?
Let me read it. Because you asked me, was I stupid? I didn't get offended. Because we'll see.
What the hell is going on, boy? You weird.
What chapter and verse? Brother, relax. What chapter and verse?
I said go to Revelation.
I'm here. What chapter and verse?
Hold on now.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hold on. I think that's in the freaking first chapter. Give me a second.
Okay, I think I see it right here. Where it says, to 14, where it says, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, verse 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. And his voice...
Okay, right. So stop there. So what particular people have feet that look like fine brass?
Nobody. This is not talking about actual feet.
So what is it talking about then?
Okay, so if you let me just go backwards, I'm calming down. It says his head and his hairs were white as a comparison, like wool and snow, because wool is white.
Okay, so and I ain't trying to stop you there, but I
Yeah.
have to. So, who hair is woolly as far as?
But it's not saying it's woolly.
Answer my. Okay,
I am
we have woolly hair as far as black people,
but this is not talking about texture. It's just saying color.
Wow, woolly hair is talking about texture. Okay, what do you mean?
All right, so let me just read it one more time, please. His head and his hairs. So his head and hairs were white like wool. White wool, white snow. So what about the snow part?
Because he is an older man. He has gray hair, which means it's wisdom in his hair. If you read Samson, that was his downfall by telling Delilah that he had wisdom and strength in his hair.
I got you.
Hair is significant. If you're reading Leviticus 19:27, it says that a man shall not cut his hair nor mar his beard, because what? It's wisdom in the hair. It's strength, it's knowledge in the hair. So that's why his hair is like that. And his eyes are red like that because he was a wine drinker.
Hey, before we get there, it said his hairs were white. The word like means comparison. It says, and then it's a comma. It said his hairs were white like wool. His hairs were white like wool.
Right. It's a comparison, man. Like what,
to the color. It's a comparison to the color of these two items.
No, it's a comparison to the texture of the hair, man.
Where did you read that? Can you read the texture?
To it, man.
Nah, you're the one that went deep. Okay, so let's go to feet. Fine, no problem. And his feet, unlike unto fine brass, if they had burned in a furnace.
Right. So, like I said, what cultural people look like they got their feet burned in the fire?
Brother, that's not talking about his actual flesh feet.
Bro, it's talking about the way his feet look. Now, you're a black man, so you can look down at your feet and see that.
Can you read verse 13?
Where?
Same chapter, just one verse above 14.
Revelations 1, is that where we at?
Yeah,
yes.
13.
In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about paps with a golden girdle.
So how long was he wore? Hold on. So how long was the garment?
Down to his feet.
Right. So you can't see his actual.
Because I have garments that are that long.
Hold on. Wait, no. It said, okay, if a woman's hair is to her butt, it's to her butt. So if it's saying the garment's down to his foot, you're not looking at his actual feet. You're looking at the garment.
Yes, you are, sir. I have garments that are down to my ankles. They're not actually down to the feet, because if they were down to the feet, it would be dragging. We don't have garments that are dragging on the ground.
Brother, how about this? How about if I poured a cup of water and the water's at the edge of the cup? Where's the water?
What kind of nonsense?
Okay, all right. All right, bro.
I'm sorry, man. I don't understand that question. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to get
I got you.
This here.
Nah, brother. It's okay, man. It's okay.
Sir, I'm not trying to be rude. I just want you to get an understanding. That's some real talk, man. You are looking at this way too deep. It's describing how Hamashiach looks. So let me ask you this: you think that Hamashiach or Yahushua is a white man?
Why you gotta be black or white?
Because that's important. Because if you think that he's a white man, then that means that the original people in the Bible were not black.
So you think everybody is just black or white?
No.
Right.
What I'm saying is the original people that were in the Bible were black.
Okay, that's your opinion, but why would you give me black or white and not other nations out here?
Because they're not a part of the kingdom. Come on, man. We know there's black, there's all the way black, and then there's all the way white, and in between you got your Chinese, you got your Hispanics, you got your Indians. Come on, man.
So
okay, let me go to Seth. Okay, look, let's do this. Let's do this right now. Go to second Esdras.
Wait. Before we go there, because I'm really off that. I want to see if you agree to this. Okay, you said Esau.
What's
Esau
up?
can't. You said Esau can't have salvation. Okay, what about the Ishmaelites? Can they get salvation?
The Ishmaelites. I'm not too familiar with the Ishmaelites, but
Okay, so
I don't
what
think they.
about?
I don't. To be honest, I don't think they can get salvation.
Okay,
Yeah, right. Those
so
sound like the Arabian, the Middle Eastern people. It's from
right.
Iraq.
Yeah, they're those people. Okay, so what about this? What about? Let me just read this to you. This verse.
Go ahead.
This is Old Testament. Okay. Okay. Can you go to Zephaniah chapter 2?
Yeah, I was just reading that a couple of days ago. Go ahead. Go Zephaniah. What?
2, chapter 2.
Okay.
Can you read verse 12?
Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword. Right. So the
Okay.
Ethiopians have no salvation.
All right, cool. Can you go to Acts chapter 8?
Hold on. Acts chapter 8. I'm there. Verse what?
Wait, let me get that with you. Okay. Okay, can you start at verse 26?
And the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise and go towards the south unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert.
27.
And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, and a eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem to worship.
Okay, so it says that this Ethiopian who's under Candace the queen had came to Jerusalem for worship. Read 28.
Was returning and sitting in his chariot, read Isaiah the prophet.
Right. Now read the next verse, because Philip gonna ask him something.
Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near, and join thyself to this chariot.
Okay, now 30 is important.
Okay, and Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understandest thou what thou readest?
Okay, read 37.
And Philip said, If I believeth with all thine heart, thou mayest.
I does not say I.
Salakia. And Philip said, If thou believest with all thine heart, thou mayest. And he answered and said, I believe that Hamashiach is the son of Yahweh.
Right, so that's the Ethiopian confession. First of all, he's believing. So back to that word believing. The Ethiopian's believing, even though Zephaniah 2:12 said they all gonna die. This one believed. So he would say salvation. He would say salvation for those who believe. And then he said, I believe that Christ is the Son of God. Okay, now watch this. Read 38. Look what happens after he believes. Let's see if he dies or he gets saved. Read 38.
And he commanded the chariot to stand still, and they went down both into the water, and Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized him.
So he baptized the Ethiopian, verse 39, and we're done. 39.
And when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more, and he went on his way rejoicing.
All right, so explain that.
Explain it.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah, but we just read they're all gonna die. Like you read about Esau. We read they're all gonna die.
Right. So what are you saying? It's contradicting?
No, I'm saying that it's a contingency. If you don't believe, you're gonna die. If you believe and confess the Son of God is your Savior, salvation is extended to you.
Okay.
We read it.
Right.
Okay. So we read that. So, where I went, the belief thing. You got to believe.
Right. Okay. Now let me get you
And this is New Testament. You see, I don't go to Genesis. I go to the latest.
Yeah, but do you believe that the New Testament was tampered with?
Well, if you want to go that route, then let's throw away the whole New Testament. Let's just be Old Testament Israelites.
No. I'm not even saying that. I believe that the New Testament was tampered. How you gonna call Jesus a white man and then
nobody called Jesus
Revelation how he looked?
Nobody called Jesus a white man. You keep saying
no.
White.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying this is what the world thinks as far as the New Testament.
Well, you got racist people out here. Listen, the Bible was around a lot longer than racist white folks. Okay, so when racist white folks started to paint Jesus as themselves, I mean, you can't say every white person was doing it, but we definitely know the Romans were doing it, and even it continued in America, and I'm sure throughout the world by now. Like, but even amongst the light Hispanics, like they got a white looking Jesus on their wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. So, but that's making a graven image, bro. Like they gotta deal with that, right, on the day of judgment, because the Bible says don't make a graven image. And even like Romans said who is that guy, right? I think Romans 1, they talk about like who's that guy that you claim is Jesus. I'm paraphrasing, it's a fake Jesus. So just because a few people do something, it doesn't mean you condemn the whole race. Because you got black folks who are painting a black Jesus, and they're just as guilty.
Yeah, but that's the original Jesus, man.
No, like, the original Jesus don't have. There's no picture of him. So what I'm saying is, once you go to make a picture, like draw a picture of him and say this is his eyes, this is his ears, his nose, that is an idol worship at that point. Because now you're worshiping is saying this is Jesus.
Well, we just read in Revelations about how he looked and was described. What do you mean?
Right. Okay, so let's say if that's true. But it doesn't tell you how thin his lips was. It don't tell you how big his eyes were. It doesn't tell you how long his hair is. So when people draw a picture with their own imagination of how they think he looks, that's not him. Like, you know, a detective will ask for a composite and they will ask for more than that. It gave you his color of his feet, which you're saying. It gave you his color of his hair, and you said his texture. But it says nothing about how tall he is. Is he fat? Is he skinny? So people just can't, his facial hair, people just can't make up a picture and say this is him. They're no different than the Romans at that point.
Okay. All right. I got you. So look, let's go here. Just go here with me, please.
Okay.
Go to Second Esdras 6th chapter and start at the 54th verse, and please read down to the 59th verse.
Okay. This is the Apocrypha, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want you to explain this right here, if you can.
Okay, so Second Esdras chapter 2 verses what?
Second Esdras 6th chapter 54, start at the 54th verse.
Okay. Oh, second. Okay, my bad. I'm in first. What's that first?
Are you good?
So Second Esdras, what chapter? 1? Is it chapter 1?
No, 6th chapter, verse 54.
Yeah, that's what I missed. All right, give me a second.
Yeah.
I missed the chapter 6. Okay, 54, you say. And after these, Adam also, whom thou hast made as Lord of all thy creatures. Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Right, so, hold on, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. So, he said that Adam came out of, all the creatures, or, everybody that came out of Adam, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's describing. Everybody that came out of Adam, correct? Now he said, and the people also whom thou hast chosen, right? He chose a specific people out of all the people, right?
Yep.
So continue. Go down to 55 for me.
Okay. It says, and all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Right, for our sakes. He's speaking to a particular people again. He said our. All right, go continue.
And then it says, for the other people, which also come,
the other people,
thou hast said nothing, but be like unto spittle, as like
right there. What is? Hold on, my bad. What is spittle?
That's a saliva.
Exactly, right. So he said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle. When you spit on the ground, you know how the white man you still do sometimes look at us and spit at us on the ground. That's the same thing that the Most High is talking about, that these other nations are unto spittle.
Okay, so I'm going to raise you one. Watch this.
No, hold on. Spittle, continue, please. Let's continue, please, real quick, and then we can go back and forth.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Right.
And now
okay. And then
the whole base heathen, which has ever been reputed as nothing, had begun to be lords over us to devour us.
And
let me finish the rest of it. But we, thy people, whom hast thou called the firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
Right. So with that being said, that just pretty much debunked what you said about everybody having salvation, because this is the contrary of what you're saying.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it is. She said that the heathens are nothing. They're unto spittle.
All right. So
basically, he said that there's a chosen people that he picked out of all the people in the world, which is the Israelites, which is the black Hebrew Israelites, the ones that were in captivity, the ones that went into slavery again with ships.
So,
which is you and I and your ancestors.
Right. So, brother, I'm going to have you read something now. Is that okay?
But right. But do you get that? You know what I'm saying?
I got that, and there's more words in the Bible. That's not. If that was the only chapter in the Bible, you'd be absolutely correct. Unfortunately, there's other things stated in the Bible. So, and we're going to read the other things. Okay, is that okay? All right. Okay. Go to 2 Kings 24. Okay. Go to 2 Kings 24. Let's see what this says. Let's see what this says. So it's context everything. When the Lord gets mad, he'll condemn. He's not a respecter of persons, so he'll condemn heathens and he'll condemn his own. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
I said the Lord is not a respecter of persons. He keeps saying that over in the Bible. And what happens is, what that means is that he's going to, if anybody does wicked, he's going to punish them along with Israel. And if anybody does righteousness, he's going to bless them along with Israel. This is why he said the sun shines on everybody, not just the righteous. And he said, and it rains on everybody, not just the wicked.
Hold on, where you at again?
2 Kings 24.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let me get over to 2 Kings 24. Okay.
Let me make sure I'm at the right. Or just hold on one second. Let me just make sure I got it right. 1 second. All right. Let me just see something real fast. Make sure I got the right chapter. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm here. Okay. Okay, read verse 1.
Okay, this is 2 Kings 24, chapter, verse 1. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, verse 1.
In his days, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up with Joachim, became his servant 3 years. Then he returned and rebelled against him.
Right. So now, Joachim at this point, do you know who that is? He's the king of Judah. Okay, keep reading.
Right. And the Lord sent against him bands of the Chaldees, and bands of the Syrians, and bands of the Moabites, and bands of the children of Ammon.
Okay, hold
And
on, hold
sent
on. Wait. Remember, I had to stop so you can explain. Okay, so did the Chaldees, Syrians, and Moabites and people Ammon, did they send themselves, or did the Lord send them to? Or did the Lord
to
send them?
destroy Judah. Khan, yes, he did. He sent
Okay,
them to destroy Judah.
brother. Look. You narrated. I'm narrating now. You asked a question. I answered it. I'm asking you a question. Did they send themselves, or did the Lord send them?
I just said he sent them to destroy us. I'm talking about the Most High.
I didn't ask you about destroying. I'm just asking about sending. The same way you had me read a verse and you asked me in between, I'm asking you the same thing. I didn't read ahead. I'm just saying the Lord sent them, right? That's all. Yes, right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, now keep reading.
And sent them against Judah to destroy it, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servants, the prophets.
Okay, so what's happening is that the Lord prophesied through his prophets that he will destroy Judah. Okay, now read verse 3.
Surely at the commandment of the Lord came this upon Judah, to remove them out of his sight for the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he did.
Right. So the Lord, it was him who warred against Judah, who used the other nations to do it. Read verse 4. Uh-oh.
And also the innocent blood that he shed, for he fulfilled Jerusalem with innocent blood, which the Lord would not pardon.
So he said everybody's going to die, the wicked and the innocent.
Right. This is pertaining to the curses, because this has happened in Maccabees. This has happened so many times about us just getting destroyed.
I got you. Right. That's my point. He's always destroying people. So he removed, so the same way he felt about the other nations, they said, spittle, he basically said the same thing about Israel. He removed them from his sight. He didn't want anything to do with them.
That's not right.
Okay,
that's not right.
Okay, right. Look, let me just talk and then you go.
All right, go ahead. I'm letting you speak.
Right, because we gotta keep callers in, and I'm explaining. Then I'm going to show. So he's always been no respecter of persons. When the heathen nations, remember the heathen listeners, the heathen nations, they attacked Israel for no reason. You got Pharaoh. So the Lord can't, he waxed hot and he judged those heathen nations, right? And then Israel started to be wicked amongst themselves and the other people. The Lord judged them, as you see right now. So I said earlier that whoever does wicked, the Lord is going to judge them. Whoever does righteous, the Lord is going to bless them. Okay? Now, as you go.
Okay, but you can't compare Second Esdras to the Israelites as well, because it was specifically picking out a certain people. That's why he said, for our sakes, and the chosen people. And then he said everybody else that came out of Adam was spittle. So that clearly shows that it's not everybody he's talking to.
I mean, you keep saying that in the Old Testament, but then when we go to the days where Jesus,
an apocrypha.
Okay, right. So that's old stuff. When we go to Jesus walking, when it's Jesus' time to talk, he talks about everyone that believeth, and he says that, and he said to worship God. You read John 4:24. I'm surprised you didn't read. I mean, you read 22. I'm surprised you didn't do 24. He said that he's a spirit, and everybody must worship him in spirit and truth, and that was not happening amongst Israel. So everybody is everyone. Again, so when we read the words everybody and everyone, to most people who speak English, that's to everybody and everyone. Other people would cherry pick those words to mean a limitation. Everyone, everybody, there's no limitation. That's basic English grammar. But people would tell you that there's a limitation to everyone, everybody.
Yeah, just like, if I'm not mistaken, Isaiah 45:23. Hold on. It says every knee shall bow and every tongue will confess. Right, so everybody's going to have to give reverence to the Most High. He needs his respect before he slay them.
How come you don't read the New Testament, by the way?
I do read the New Testament. What are you talking about?
Okay, can you read the New Testament to prove your case?
Prove my case. First off, let me say something. The New Testament is not really going off of. It is actually in Hebrew and a few other places as far as talking about the chosen people, but it's more so going to the depth of when we were in Rome, and then obviously Yahweh Shai, how he came into play, and then the destruction as far as obviously in Revelations of the world. I mean, but it gets deeper in context in the Old Testament. That's why the Old Testament is significant as far as for us as Hebrew Israelites, because it goes over the blessings and the curses. It tells you how we entered into Egypt and how we rebelled and how we didn't listen to Moshe when he brought us out of Egypt, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not debunking or disrespecting the New Testament. I'm saying that the Old Testament is, no, I'm saying that the Old Testament is dominant as far as what we need to know.
Wait, so so Jesus' words is inferior to what the Old Testament says?
No, there is no contradiction. The Old Testament lines up with the New. And to be honest with you, there really is no New Testament. This is what King James and them, the white people, put into play. All of this is just one book, man.
The white man. Okay, so
you got to think about it. What's the New Testament? Even in the New Testament, it states that it's okay to eat unclean food. When you have Levitical laws in the Old Testament, saying we can't eat swine.
Where in the New Testament does it say that?
Hold on, let me find it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in Romans. Give me a second.
Romans. See, so brother, a lot of your issues that you're reading the Bible in error.
How am I reading the Bible in error?
I'm going to show you. Read Romans.
No, it's not. That's it. I think it's in Romans. Give me a second. Let me find it.
Okay. Take your time. Do you know who Balaam is? Since you want to read Old Testament, do you know who Balaam is?
Balaam.
Yeah, B-A.
Sounds like the false god.
Okay. He's definitely not Israel. He's a foreigner. Do you think God?
What does that have to do with anything?
Do you think God worked with him?
God worked through anybody, man. He worked
right. That's my message. This guy, you put the limitation on what God can do. I take it off, and then you come back and testify what I said originally. You just said it. He can work through anybody. Thank you to all that believes. Because believe me, if Balaam didn't believe, he's not working through them. He don't work with non-believers.
Okay. I need to find. I can't find it. I'm sorry, because I know Paul. I think it was Paul that said, well, not Paul specifically, but in that I think it's in Corinthians where it was saying that it's okay to pray over swine or unclean food, but I'm not too sure exactly where it's at. I got to find it. But that's really, but huh?
Your understanding of it is like a Christian. That's what Christians use to justify.
How is that like a Christian? I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I don't have a Christian mindset.
Right. So, but you do, because that's the verse.
What praying over unclean food is a Christian mindset.
Let me get 2 words in. It's a Christian mindset because that's the verse they use to justify eating everything they want. And it's not
exactly.
But it's not. Hold on.
So what is it saying then?
Okay. It's not saying that. What you got to do is you got to know who Paul is talking to at that point, and you got to know the history.
Talking to the Church of Corinth. Go ahead. Continue.
Right. Listen. You got to know who's Paul's. Matter of fact, later, guys, I'm going to read you the Gentiles.
In Acts.
Okay, read it. Acts what?
Hold on. Let me find. I'm getting hotter. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Good luck. Continue while I find it.
Okay, so I'm looking at something myself. So Balaam. So I'm on Balaam right now. I'm going to show you something. How God can work with a heathen. Because remember, you said they're nothing. They're spittle. Okay.
Okay, hold on. I found it. Acts 10, 14 to 15. Actually, no, we started 13th verse.
Go ahead.
It says, and there came a voice to him saying, rise, Peter, kill and eat. 14, but Peter said, but Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
Right.
15, and the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
Right. Or unclean, right?
Right.
Okay, so
if I'm not mistaken, he's basically saying it's okay to eat the unclean food as long as you pray over.
No.
Correct?
No, brother. What you should do is read an entire chapter. So now I'm going to educate you on what this is saying. Okay, so let's start earlier. Let's not start there. Let's start in verse 9. It says, on the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh into the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour, and he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance, so he's dreaming, and saw a heaven open and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts and creeping things and fowls of the air. Now it's for your verse. And there came a voice to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. Now, what you should not do is stop. You should keep reading. And the voice came a second time. So not a first time, but a second time. What God hath cleansed, that you should not call uncommon. So you should not call common. So let's keep these words in our brain. What God has cleansed, don't call it common. Okay? So we're going to see if this is talking about eating food. This was done 3 times. So 16 says this was done thrice, and the vessel would recede up again into the heaven. Now, verse 17, while Peter doubted himself what this vision should mean. So it's funny how Peter doubted the vision, but you know what it means. So Peter didn't understand the vision because it came 3 times to him. So he's thinking it's talking about food. It's saying, bro, it's not talking about food. It's not talking about food. It's not talking about food. So Peter is kind of confused. Okay, so behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate. So I'm just going to, so now watch this. Verse 19, while Peter thought on the vision, so he's still thinking about it. The spirit came back. The spirit said unto him, behold, 3 men seek thee. How many men? 3. How many times did the vision come to him? The voice 3 times. So 3 times did the voice come to him, 3 times, and now we got 3 men seeking him. Okay, because remember, he didn't know what the vision meant. He's doubting himself. So now, arise, therefore, get down and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Remember, he was doubting the vision. So it's saying, stop doubting the vision, go meet these 3 men. Okay. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius and said, behold, I am he who you seek. What's up? And they said, Cornelius the centurion, which is a Roman soldier, a just man and one that feared God and of good report among all the nation of Jews, was warned from God by the holy angel to send for thee into his house and hear the words of thee. Then called he them in, so Peter called them in and lodged them in. On the morrow, Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. Now we're going to learn what the vision means. And this is why I correct Christians when they use it like you for pork. And the morrow after they enter into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and he had called together his kinsmen and their friends. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshiped him. He had high respect for the Jews. This is a Roman man in the army, right? Roman soldier. So early he asked, then what is the Jews' purpose? Well, the Jews, everybody can get salvation, but it's through the Jews still. So they still have an important role. The Jews, the Israelites, are the gatekeepers literally to salvation. They can block people. They'll be judged for it, but they can block people, or they can preach the gospel and let people freely receive it, and they can help them enter in. But there is an order. The Israelites are definitely the officers. right? When it comes to who can enter and who cannot enter. So that's why Cornelius fell down at his feet and worshiped him. But look what Peter said, because Peter understands the vision now. But Peter, this is verse 26, but Peter took him up saying, stand up. I myself also am a man. I know we think lower of you Satirians because we're Jews, you're not, but you're a man like me. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were coming together. Now watch 28. This is what you did not read. And he said to them, ye know, this is what they're saying to him. You know how that it is. No, this Peter saying to them. He said, you know how it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company. The same thing Jesus told that woman, a Samaritan. Matter of fact, she said it to him. She said, you know, Jews don't deal with us because that was a law amongst Israel. Matter of fact, that was God's law. Don't go into the nations. Stay away from them. Stay amongst yourself because you're going to adopt their gods, their ways, and you're going to sin. So Peter is saying, you know how that is. It is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come into one of another nation. Cornelius, Roman soldier. But God has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. It was never talking about food. Peter misinterpreted the vision. It came 3 times. And then as he's still trying to figure out the vision, the Spirit say, listen, stop thinking about it. Just go. You'll get it later. So now in 28, it tells you God said, don't call any man common or unclean. And I'm not done there yet. Let me go.
Okay, but 14 it says, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. What do you mean you're going to talk about food?
Bro, relax, bro. Be secure, man. Be secure. Let me finish on the bill. So we just read, he didn't know what the hell the vision was talking about. So then God said, don't call, the next verse, God said, Peter thought God said, don't call any man common or unclean. We clearly read that he was doubting the vision. 28, he clarified to the Romans, he said, God showed me I should not call any man common or unclean. So the vision is now clear to him. So he understood now it was never talking about food. He was hungry. Remember, he was hungry on the rooftop praying. So that's why he could understand the vision. He's hungry. So he's thinking about food. But God said clearly right now, the vision is God showed me the vision that I should not call any man common or unclean. Now, listen to 34. This is the perfect ending. Then Peter opened his mouth. Because remember, he told Cornelius, stand up. I'm a man too. Because they the heathens that actually want to be down with Israel, they bow down to Israel. And they see them as superior. So that's why Peter said, stand up. I myself also a man. Now 34 is the ending. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. If you do good, he'll do good to you. If you do evil, evil will come upon you. Look at 35. But in every nation, every means all, every nation that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with God. So I keep reading over and over and over. Those who fear God, those who believe in him, they are included. You keep saying no, but you can't read it in the New Testament.
So you're saying that he's saying basically every nation is going to enter into the kingdom.
Brother.
When we kept reading things that were the opposite. So why is it the New Testament saying that now what you're saying is that everybody can get the go ahead to get into the kingdom, but I'm reading stuff that's different, or in different parts of the Bible it's speaking something else. I'm not understanding.
Okay.
Because, like I said, because we are peculiar people, we different. So where does that make us stand now? Nowhere. So why does he call us that as far as peculiar people, or chosen people, the elect? You know what I'm saying? Why would he call us these names and everybody else can get in too?
Brother, I read, thus said the Lord, If you got a problem with that, brother, you gotta meditate. Fast and meditate.
Look, man, we both read "Thus Say the Lord" in this book. Like I was reading stuff out of the Bible as well. Like, what do you mean?
What part of the Bible? What part?
I brought out a few precepts out of the Bible.
Did you read?
Look, man.
Did you read in the New Testament anything?
Look, I am not going to go into the New Testament with you because I know what I read out of the New Testament.
Okay. Are you happy with what you read and what I read?
That's not really the point. The point is having an understanding
what I mean
who's
is,
who and who's not.
Yeah, what I mean was not happy. That was a bad choice of words. Are you satisfied with your conclusion in spite of what I read and what you read? Are you still in spite of that, are you still satisfied with your conclusion about heathens and Gentiles getting salvation?
Everybody's not entering in. Deuteronomy 30:3. That then the Lord thy God will return thy captivity.
That he's going back to the Old Testament. That the brother just can't read it in the New. And that's the problem.
I can read the New Testament. Like I said, first off, you got to go to the Old to read the New. Yeah. Like I said, the New Testament that's what the Romans incorporated. It's just one book.
Right. Okay, yeah, but what I'm saying, it's a big book because Jesus is down and all authority is given to him. And he's not saying anything you ever said so far on his call. Jesus ain't say one thing you said.
I don't refer to him as Jesus. I call him Hamashiach. Okay, like I said, if you know the history behind that, Caesar Borgia is a gay man.
It's okay. Messiah. How about Messiah? Is that better? Messiah, the Messiah. So you're quoting Old Testament stuff. Thousands of years before Jesus. Jesus understands all that. He knows all that. So he's now talking and he's not spitting anything you just spat today. He's saying what I said. He keeps saying everybody. We read it over and over and over. That's what I'm asking you. Can you prove your case in I can prove my case in the Old Testament. Can you prove yours in the New Testament? So we'll swap. You go old to prove your case, you go new to prove your case, I'll go old.
To be honest with you, I'm not trying to do it. I don't really have all that time. It shouldn't even be like that. We should be all on one accord. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, the Most High is in the midst. And obviously he's not in the midst of this.
Brother?
It's fine. You don't feel it either.
Brother, I have to then let the next caller call in.
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead. We obviously not going nowhere with this, man.
Are you satisfied with your conclusion?
Look, man, it's not about being satisfied. It's about the Most High being satisfied. He is obviously not pleased. Like I said, where the 2 or 3 are gathered, he shall be in the midst. And we got to be on one accord. And we obviously are not on one accord.
I'm on one accord with the scriptures.
And I don't feel his presence in this conversation either.
Well, I'm on one accord with the scriptures. You are somewhere else.
I'm on one accord with the scriptures too. But like I said, you have to read deeper.
You got to read. You just read Acts chapter 10 incorrectly.
Okay, so he wasn't talking about food. When the voice came to him and said, "Arise, Peter, kill and eat."
He just read it.
Talking about food.
Yeah, we just read it.
Okay,
we just read it.
I was talking about that specific part. I'm not talking about going down. You went down. I was talking about that specific.
Because you just said you just said it. You just said we got to read.
He wasn't talking about food though. He was talking about eating a zombie. Okay.
So you were talking. You just read it. I mean, you just said it. You said we got to read this book in context. So what Christians do, like you, they stop at 13.
I'm not a Christian. First off, that's disrespectful. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I've been in this truth for 7 years now.
Hebrews don't use that verse. Hebrews don't use that verse. That's what Christians use to eat pork.
So what are you then? Are you a neutral? What are you? You're not a Hebrew Israelite.
What am I?
You're a Hebrew Israelite by blood, but your mindset is not. Do you wear fringes? 15 and 31 numbers. Do you wear fringes?
No, that's for people who don't have the spirit of Christ.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so
because that's a commandment for us to wear fringes.
Right. So let me explain. So you read earlier, John chapter 4. 24 says, God is the spirit, and we must worship God in spirit and truth, right? That means truth. If you believe,
he don't know him. He don't know shit.
If you believe Acts chapter 10 is talking about food, after I just read the whole all the way up to what the vision revealed to Peter, like what Peter understood. So Peter tells you what the vision is about, and you stick to Peter's first thought. He clearly said that he was in doubt of his first thought 3 times. He was doubting the vision over. He was never convinced the vision was correct. He always doubted the vision. So when he finally talked in 28, he said, "Oh, God showed me," that was the vision, "to not call any man common or clean." If you think that is talking about food still, after we just read it, then there's no
I'm not talking about that. You keep going back to that part. I'm not talking about when the angel of the Lord appeared to Peter and told him, "Arise, kill, and eat." That's what I'm talking about. You going into a different part of the chapter.
Chat, do y'all get it? Because this brother, some people, it's just not for them.
It's not for you. You don't even keep the Levitical laws. You don't even rock fringes. You don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You don't know. Like, what do you mean? You don't even in the Old Testament. What does Deuteronomy state? If you knowing what you're talking about, what does Exodus state? Do you even keep the Sabbath? Exactly, nigga. Get the fuck off my phone. You don't hang up the phone.
I didn't hang up.
Exactly.
I'm still here.
All right. Well, then why you not saying nothing then? Like, come on, man. Like, I ain't got all day with this shit.
Now, I think we gave enough information out. I think, is
do you keep the Sabbath or no?
I think the Sabbath is for those who are unrighteous.
How is that unrighteous? I can go precept upon precept about the Sabbath and how he said if you don't keep the Sabbath, you're going to surely die. We can go to Exodus, man.
Old Testament again. Can you show me that?
Right, Hamashiach kept the Sabbath.
Can you show me that in the New Testament? Can you show me that in the New Testament?
Yes.
Okay, good. Show me we're going to die if we don't keep the Sabbath.
Okay, all right. It's not in the New Testament, but I'm gonna show you right now. Hold on. I'm gonna show you right now. Exodus. Let's
Old Testament.
Hold on, give me a second.
He's an Old Testament Hebrew brother. Drop the New Testament.
I'm an Old Testament Hebrew. Go to Exodus 35:2.
Yeah, you should stay in the Old Testament. Sir,
let me say something before you go there. You have to understand the Old Testament before you even get into the New Testament. Go to Exodus 35:2 and read that.
Nah, I'm good. Show me the New Testament, please. Just one time.
See, this is a Christian that I'm talking to.
Yeah, I know.
Because everybody that's a Christian only keeps the New Testament. That's why they have New Testament Bibles. I just said got the Old Testament.
I just said I can prove my case.
You're a Christian.
I just said
you're a Christian. I'm gonna read. Hold on. I'm gonna read Exodus. I ain't trying to be rude. I'm gonna read Exodus.
Yeah, you are being rude. I just said I can prove my case in the Old Testament. I said, can you prove your case in the New Testament? And you can't.
Okay. So let me read Exodus 35:2. You said that
Old Testament. Everything he read today.
Hold on. Let me read this. Let me read this real quick.
I read the Old Testament. I read Zephaniah 2 and 12.
Will you read Exodus 35:2?
I haven't read 2 Kings. I went to 2 Kings. I read 2 Kings. They're dealing with Jehoiakim. I read the Old Testament.
Look, man, I'm talking about the first 5 books of the Old Testament is essential and key to what you're supposed to know.
Can you please read the New Testament one time? Just one time.
Let me go. I'm not. Look, man, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm gonna read Exodus 35:2. Okay.
And that's why I get Romans.
Shall work be done, but on the 7th day shall be unto you a holy day.
That's why I read Romans 1 and 16, where it says, "I am not ashamed of the gospel." He's ashamed of the gospel. He won't read the gospel. So I'm not mad at the brother. I'm saying if you're ashamed of it, and then he'll tell you that it's tampered. He'll say it's so. Yeah, let me guess. What part of the New Testament is tampered? The part I read. And let me guess what parts are not tampered. The parts you read. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? For brother, we got your message loud and clear. We got your message loud and clear. I don't want to.
Why did you mute me? Why did you mute me, sir?
Because, like you said before, you're being rude. You are being rude.
I'm trying to read Exodus 35 and 10, and you won't even let me read that about how. 35 and 2 about how you supposed to be. How you supposed to keep the Shabbat, or you gonna be
he's gonna talk. He's gonna talk over me, brother. I'm not talking.
You know what? I'm about to hang up this damn phone. You competent, motherfucker. Bye.
Yes, you did enough. You did enough. Okay. When I sent him this link, he ain't gonna like it. Hey, peace of divine prospect. I see you in there. I ain't know you were alive. I ain't see you on something that in the longest. I guess you must be busy with real work. Kingdom Harbinger Ministries. My brother, my beloved brother, divine prospect. Okay. So now, and yo, really, divine prospect should be up here with me. So another brother's gonna call in.